In today's lesson, 10.6, we're going to be working with problem solving and displaying data. And we're on page 501 of the second grade Go Math textbook. All right, so let's look at the first question. Maria recorded the rainfall in her town for rainfall change from September to December. So we have the frequency information right here for each month. So what do I need to find? I need to find the amount of rainfall change. So the amount of rainfall change from September to December. What information do I need to use? Well, I need the rainfall totals in each month. Okay. All right. So we know that bar graphs have to have titles and label. Okay. So the title here, I would say rainfall. Okay. And so on the left-hand side, we have the amount in inches from 0 to 5. And so our other label would be the month. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and color those in. So September was 4 inches. So go to September and find 4 and color that in. Okay. Go to October, find 3. Okay, it says 3 inches here. So let's color that in. Okay, November was 2 inches. So find November and put 2. Have the bar stop at 2. And December, 1 inch. So find December and go to 1 and just color in to the 1 inch mark. All right, so the amount of rainfall decreased from September to December, right? Every month it went from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. Okay. So the decrease from September to December each month. Okay. All right, let's look at page 502. All right, so we're going to make a bar graph to solve this problem. Remember, what do I need to find and what information do I need? So it says Matthew measured the height of his plant once a week for 4 weeks. Describe how the height of the plant changed from May 1st to May 22nd. So we have 4 different days that he measured. He measured once a week, again for 4 weeks. So what would our title be for this? Probably like plant height. Okay, and we see zeros from numbers from 0 to 8. So that's probably the height in inches. And then we have May 1st, May 8th, May 15th, May 22nd. So weekly total. Okay. All right. So on May 1st, his plant was 2 inches tall. So find May 1st, find 2, and color that in. Okay. So the bar has to end at 2 for May 1st. On May 8th, we need to find 3 inches. So it increased by an inch. It went from 2 to 3. All right. May 15th, it went to 5 inches. So find May 15th, find 5, and color that in. All right. And May 22nd, find 7 inches. May 22nd, find 7, go across, and it needs to stop at the 7. All right. So looking at this bar graph, can we see a trend? Each bar is getting higher, right? So each week the plant is increasing. So the height of the plant increases each week. All right, page 503. Make a bar graph to solve the problem. Bianca wrote the number of hours that she practiced playing guitar in June. Describe how the amount of practice time changed from week 1 to week 4. All right, so guitar practice is the title I'm going to use. And here we're going to say weekly total. And on the side, hours of practice. All right. So now let's go ahead and look at the information and graph it. Week 1, only 1 hour. So find week 1, have the bar stop at 1. Okay. Week 2 was 2 hours. Okay. So she increased her amount of practice. Week 3 was 4 hours. And week 4 was 5 hours. Okay. All right. So looking at that, well, again, we see a trend that each week she's increasing the number of hours that she's practicing. So the amount of practice time increased each week. Okay, number 3. If Bianca's practice time is 4 hours in week 5, how does her practice time change from week 1 to week 5? So I'm going to go ahead and put in week 5, and it says week 5 is 4 hours. So I'm going to find 4. I would draw the bar so it stops at 4. All right, and so overall, I can say that her hours of practice still has increased from week 1, right? So her practice time increased overall from week 1 to week 5. Her hours of practice decreased week 4 to week 5. Okay. So overall, she still increased. She had week 1 was 1 hour, but week 5 would have been 4 hours. So that still shows an increase. And if we wanted to just look at 4 and 5, we could say it decreased from week 4 to week 5. All right, page 503. Now on page 504, this is something called a line plot, okay, where every X is the amount of the objects being counted. So the lengths of strings in inches. So the X's are the number of strings that measure those lengths. So we have 2 strings that measure 6 inches, 3 strings that measure 7 inches, 4 strings that measure 8 inches, and 3 strings that measure 9 inches. So how many strings are 9 inches long? So we go to the 9 and we count how many strings there are. 1, 2, 3. How many strings are more than 6 inches long? Okay, well, we can't count 6 because 6 is not more than 6. 7 is, 8 is, and 9 is. So we need to count all the x's above 7, 8, and 9 because those lengths of strings are more than 6. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 strings. All right, and finally, number 6. David measured the snowfall for 4 weeks. Fill in the bubble next to all the sentences that describe the data. Make a bar graph to solve the problem. Okay, so week 1, 1 inch. Week 2, 2 inches. Week 3, 3 inches. Week 4, 4 inches. All right. So now let's look at our data. It is increasing every week, right? So were there 2 inches of snow in week 2? Go to week 2, see where the bar ends. It ends at 2. It's true. So fill in the bubble next to all the sentences that describe the data. Yes, there were 2 inches of snow in week 2. The amount of snowfall increased each week. Yep. The snowfall decreased from week 3 to week 4. No, that doesn't make any sense. If the snowfall increased each week, how can it decrease? How can it also decrease? There were a total of 4 inches of snow in week 2 and week 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. So that's not true. There were 3 more inches of snow in week 4 than week 1. Week 4 was 4 inches. Week 1 was 1. 4 take away 1 is 3. So yes, that's true. Okay. So, all right. So that's it for our problem solving using displaying data. So until our next lesson, I will see you soon.